Hello everyone. I know it's been a while since I've done a video regarding motivation or encouragement, but hello, and I hope that you all are doing well. I've been trying to get back up the nerves and get myself together to do this, and this morning I woke up and by a phone call, but then once I got all the way up and started getting dressed, something dropped in my spirit and it was like, let's go for it. So here we are this morning, and we're gonna just, as you know, I jump right in. So what I got this morning was praying before the conversation, or praying before you make a move. And I said, wow, God, that is so true. Oftentimes we don't do this. Sometimes we do, but not enough. And that's what he was giving me this morning, that we don't do it enough, and we don't do it the times that we really need to do it. And so sometimes we need to have a conversation with a particular person or someone, whether it's our spouse or it's our family members, mother, father, your children, or maybe you're dating, or whoever it may be. There's a conversation that you need to have because of something that's been bothering you, or an incident that you guys may have had earlier that day, last night, or whenever the incident was. But you need to have a conversation because you didn't have it right then. You were too upset, you were frustrated, and now it has festered on the inside, and you know that you're going to have this talk. But however, what you need to do, God is saying, come to him and pray to him first. Pray to him, bring that situation to him, bring the fact that you're frustrated, what hurt you in the conversation, what caused you to be upset, what caused you to feel the way that you're feeling. If you feel like that you were not heard, or in the midst of whatever, however it went, God is saying, before you go to that individual, pray to him first. Come to him, have a prayer with him, talk to him about it. That way, when you do go to the individual, it will be a different outcome versus if you go to that individual and you haven't prayed about it, you haven't taken it to God, because it'll be his way and not our own. So sometimes I've even myself have stepped away from the situation and waited till I calm down, but still, and I didn't pray when I went to the individual, even if it was my husband, and the conversation still got heated and it still didn't go the way that I intended it for it to go, or thought it was going to go. Well, simply because I didn't go to God about it first. So God is saying, come to him first, talk to him first, pray to him first, ask him, God, give me the words to say as I go to this individual, as I go to my spouse, as I go to my child and have this conversation, as I go to my mother, father, whoever it may be. Give me the words. You put the words in my mouth, God. Turn the situation around, God, for your good, God, for your glory, God. God, whatever it is, God, you know what I'm dealing with. You know what they're dealing with, God. And sometimes we don't know what's on their mind and what they're dealing with. And, especially, again, like I say, if you're married and the husband, he may have weight on him. And all you can see is your side of the story. All you can see is how he made you feel, and versus his feelings, or that child. You don't know what they dealt with in school that day, or wherever they were in summer camp, since this is summer right now. You don't know what they dealt with, and yeah, they may have gotten smart back with you, and it wasn't the response that you wanted from them when you told them to do something. But then ask God to guide your tongue. God, give me the response, God, that you would have for me to say to my child or that individual, and not my own. So not my own words. So I encourage you guys this morning, God, whatever it is, whatever you're dealing with, if you need to have a conversation with someone, let it be a godly one. Let it be one that you've already prayed about before you have that conversation. Now let's also deal with the fact that when you're in the midst of it already, when you're already in the midst of that conversation, before you had a chance to pray about what's going on at that moment, well, just pause. While they're talking, you're praying. While they're talking, you're asking God, God, give me the words to say. God, I feel myself getting frustrated. I feel myself getting heated right now. And I feel myself getting ready to tell them off. Well, instead of doing that, God, give it all to him and ask him, God, help me to calm down in this moment. Help me not to respond out of flesh. Help me to not give the normal response that I would normally give, but God, your response, God, your language. So even in the midst of where you may say, Vonda, I didn't have time. This was in a heated moment. Even that moment, you can talk to God. You can tell yourself, you can talk to yourself. You already hear anyway what you shouldn't say. So I don't want to hear that. There's times where you hear, don't say that. Don't go there. Don't do that. So when you hear that voice that tells you don't say that, don't respond like that, that's the minute that you start praying. I hear you. I hear your voice. I hear you. I shouldn't respond that way. No, I'm not going to talk and say that. No, I'm not going to go and do that. No, I'm not just going to walk off and leave them standing there. Whatever the case have been in the past that you normally do, ask God to give you a different response at that moment. Do something different in a positive way. Let it be a godly way, and you will get more peace. You will be more, your day will end up being better instead of you being frustrated all day long, being aggravated with them all day long, and still fussing at them the rest of the day, or having an attitude the rest of the day, or like me, getting silent the rest of the day, and then the rest of the day I don't have anything else to say to him the rest of the day until God moved. Well, God could have moved ahead of time if I would have invited him in and talked to him ahead of time until it got to the point that I or he allowed it to get to. So that's my encouragement about that part of it. But also he began to give me about making moves too. Pray before you make a move. Pray and talk to God before you make a move. Whether it's small, medium, or big, it doesn't matter. About your job, where you're frustrated, you're ready to leave that job, but you ask God for the job. Well, now just same way you prayed and asked God to bless you with a job, now you no longer want to be at that job. Pray and ask God, is it time for him to release you from that job that he blessed you with, that you asked him for, that you've been praying to him for, that you cried about, and you was whining and all this other things that you were doing when you were trying to get a job. So don't make a move without God. Your children, when you get ready to switch their schools, or when they get ready to go back to school, there's things that's pressing. There's decisions that you want to make in your home. Whatever the decision is, whatever the move is, God is saying, come to him first. Then we won't have to regret things. Then we won't feel like I shouldn't have went this way, or something told me not to do it. Something told me not to go there. I knew I shouldn't have moved in this community. This is not a great community. I knew I shouldn't have bought that car. I knew I shouldn't have bought that dress. I knew I shouldn't have bought those shoes. Whatever it is, from the smallest thing, I shouldn't have turned right here. I shouldn't have turned left here. Now there's an accident. Now I'm going to be running late for work. Hey, certain things, when you hear that voice, because most of the time he warns you before you make a move anyway. Listen to it. And when you hear it, begin to pray to him about it. God, I'm feeling that even though I want to do this, I want to go in this direction, something is telling or tugging on me, telling me no. God, is that you? Speak clearly to me. Give me a sign. God, I want to know that it is you. I want to make the right move. I want to make the right decision. I don't want to buy this car and it's not for me right now. This is not the right time, even though I feel like I want it. I feel like I need it. Because some things we feel like that we need, it's not necessarily that we need it. It's more of just our flesh wanting it and overriding things that at that time is, and then you pay for it later. So this morning, I'm just encouraging you guys. It's Saturday morning. I got this when I woke up this morning after a conversation, and God just began to tell me to pray before you make moves. Pray before you have the conversation. Whoever it is that you need to go and have, and I need to have a conversation with someone right now in my life. Something that's been bothering me for a few days now, an individual, and it's a family member. But right now, I need to pray before I reach out to that person. And that way God is in it and God moves and the conversation won't go left. And then there's a decision and a move that I'm wanting to make right now as well. But, and God blessed me with this situation. He blessed me in this move. And I was asking him for it. And now I'm ready to move on. And I feel like I'm ready for the next step. But now this morning, he's saying, you haven't prayed to me about it. You may be feeling that it's time for you to make this move. But have you really talked to me about it? Come to me. Talk to me before you make this move. And then you put yourself in a situation that you can't get yourself out of, that you have to come back to me and ask me for my help to get you out of, that you didn't come to me and ask me in the beginning before you even made that move. So I say, okay, God, I hear you. So I encourage you guys this morning to do the same. There's some decisions that you need to make, or there's some decisions and moves that you're up against right now. Some of them is just because of you. Some of them is just the things that you just want to do. But I encourage you to talk to God this morning. I encourage you to talk to him today and talk to him about making that move. Talk to him about having that conversation. Ask him to guide you along the way. Ask him to give you signs. God, let me know. Show me that this is you. Let me know and show me that you put the approval on this move. God, speak these words for me. Open the door for me. Open the path, God. God, let it all be you, God. And that way I know when it's you, God, it's going to work out. And it's going to work out for my good and for those that are around me and those that will be involved. Because God doesn't just work it out for you. He works it out for the individuals that's involved too, so that there will be peace and joy and happiness. So I encourage you guys on today, this morning, I just wanted to get on here and share one of my little just empowerments. I believe in yourself. So this is still believe in yourself. And you guys continue to believe in yourself. We're going to be back with subjects related to believing yourself. But this one this morning was all about praying to God before you have the conversation with that person and that individual, and praying to God before you make a move that you will regret or need his help getting out of later. So until the next time, you guys, enjoy your Saturday and be blessed.